Preface. Welcome to buy and use mine dump trucks produced by Jinan Heavy Machinery Company Limited, Linggong Group. This video takes MT86H model as an example to introduce the maintenance of mine dump trucks. The maintenance and maintenance cycle of mine dump trucks largely depends on the use environment, working conditions, and load of mine dump trucks. Correct maintenance is the reliable guarantee to keep the mining trucks in good working conditions for a long time, and also the basis to guarantee the safe operation of the mining trucks and to prolong their service life and obtain good economic benefits. The newly purchased mining trucks should be run in and maintained for 100 hours, and the trucks should be regularly maintained according to the usage in the future. Please refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual of LGMG for details. Our company would not be liable for any loss caused by improper use, maintenance, and repair of LGMG. Replace the engine oil. The cab lift pump is selected to lift the cab to the dead point with a crowbar. Maintenance and replacement. In the hot state of the engine, remove the oil drain plug under the oil sump 30 mm range. Add the symbol to avoid burns. Remove foreign matters in the oil drain plug. Check the oil color and see if there are any sundry things in the oil. And install the oil drain plug back after the oil is discharged. Torque 20 to 29 Nm. Remove the filter with an oil filter wrench. Be careful when installing the filter. Check the casting of the new oil filter for extrusion marks, damaged sealing ring, and foreign matter in the sealing ring and sealing groove. Oil filter dop sealing ring are used when installing. Install the filter by hand until the seal ring touches the mounting seat. Then use the oil filter wrench to tighten 3/4 of the turn to seal it. After tightening, put the new oil into the engine between the oil ruler LH scale. Start the engine. Observe whether the drain port and filter leak under idle speed. Check the oil level of the machine for 5 to 10 minutes after stopping until the specified scale is reached. Replace the fill filter. Remove the fill fine filter element and replace it with a new filter element using a filter element wrench. Replace the oil-water separator. Remove the filter element of the oil-water separator and replace it with a new filter element with a filter element wrench. After the replacement, turn on the electric pump to remove the air in the fuel system. Inspect and replace gear oil of gearbox. Gearbox gear oil needs to be regularly checked and replaced. The new gearbox in driving 3,000 kilometers should replace the gear oil. Regularly check the oil level height. After every 10,000 kilometers should be replaced the gear oil. Respectively, gearbox observation hole plug, oil drain plug screw, transmission oil, clean the oil drain plug back. After, add gear oil from the oil hole until the observation hole has a small gear oil overflow. Refilling back and observe the mouth plug. Check and replace the drive axle gear oil. Replace the gear oil of the drive axle for the first 3,000 kilometers and replace the gear oil every 10,000 kilometers thereafter. Remove the oil hole screw plug and the oil drain screw plug respectively to release the gear oil. Then install the oil screw plug back. Add gear oil from the observation of the oil hole until there is a gear oil overflow at the refueling port and install the screw plug back at the refueling port. Drive axle wheel side reducer. Rotate the vehicle tire. Rotate the oil drain screw plug of the wheel side reducer to the bottom. Remove the oil hole screw plug and the oil drain screw plug respectively. Release the gear oil. Then install the playback oil screw plug and add the gear oil from the observation oil hole. Maintenance of steering bridge. Disassemble the front bridge hub cover, apply new grease, then apply special sealant to the hub cover and install it back. The grease should be replaced for the first 3,000 kilometers of the new axle, and the hub should be removed every 20,000 kilometers thereafter. The bearings should be cleaned and inspected, and the grease shall be refitted. Air conditioning maintenance. With the engine maintenance cycle, open the front panel, clean the air conditioning filter element, and replace the air conditioning filter element if necessary. Air filter maintenance. Generally, the air filter element should be cleaned every 60 to 100 hours. The safety filter element cannot be cleaned and should be replaced with engine maintenance. Loosen the filter clamps in turn, remove the back cover of the air filter, remove the filter element, and use clean and dust-free hairless paper to clean the dust inside the air filter. The air filter element should be blown inward and outward with 0.5 megapascal of compressed air. A new filter element should be replaced after blowing for a maximum of 5 times. After the maintenance, the new air filter element should be installed in the reverse order of disassembly, and the air filter seal ring should be checked for damage. Note: make sure the installation position is correct and there are no gaps. When working in a dusty condition, the air filter element should be checked and cleaned daily to prevent blockage of the air filter element, which may reduce engine power, increase fuel consumption, and even cause early engine wear. Air conditioning maintenance. Change the filter element of air conditioning according to the actual working condition. Open the front panel of cab to replace the air conditioning filter element. Regular inspection, weekly. Check whether the bolts of the transmission shaft are loose, whether the cross shaft of the transmission shaft is shaking. Shake the transmission shaft. Check whether the connecting bolts are loose. Check thruster rod bolts and thruster rod rubber sleeve. Check whether there is air leak in the brake hair chamber joint. Check whether all parts of the brake system work normally. Press the brake pedal, clutch. Check the gap of the brake pedal. Fastening points. External bolts for each part of the vehicle. Front plate spring bolt and front thruster rod link nut bolts. Rear spring pressing plate bolt nut. Fixing bolt nuts and support bolts of upper and lower thruster rods of middle and rear axle. Rim nut. 16 driving shaft bolts. 14 balance shaft bolts. 2 locking chain bolts for the rear baffle of the container. 4 engine system shock cushion bolts. 2 transmission shock cushion bolts. Brake pad brake clearance. Clutch separation pump line. Monthly check. Inspection of cargo turning seat bolts. Wear condition of plate spring seat wear block. Side limit block spot check. Press the engine belt and check the belt surface for cracks. Engine fan belt. Engine fan clearance. Check the transmission oil of manual transmission. Hub gear oil inspection. Axle gear oil. Tank cleaning. Open the fuel tank filling port. Remove the fuel filter. Clean the filter screen and use a 24mm wrench to loosen the oil plug from the fuel tank to release impurities. Inspection lifting cylinder. Lubrication points. 4 steering kingpin lubrication points. Clutch disengage bearing. Lift cylinder pin shaft. Front driving shaft. Shift soft shaft head. Rear drive shaft. Case turning shaft. Cab turning shaft. Front axle brake camshaft. Brake rocker arm shaft. Rear axle brake camshaft. Brake rocker arm shaft. Steering power cylinder pin shaft. Rotary support pin shaft for container rear baffle. Cab mounted. Rear spring support. Front spring support. The lateral limit block of the rear spring is installed with anti-biting mixture